Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Hot dog.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Howdy folks, and welcome to Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin, and we have a most unusual guest today. One of the most strangest, weirdest, and wonderfulest peoples that I've known. Nancy Weber, welcome to the show.
Thanks for the introduction, Ralph.
You're not sure.
Weirdest, wonderful, it's soaking.
It's soaking in.
Soaking here.
Nancy
Yes.
is the
It's not
author
sinking.
of a new book, Psychic Detective, which is about some of your real life experiences working with...
And about some horses.
And horses?
Criminals, people, but also
Criminal horses?
Criminal horses, yes. No.
What does it have to do with horses?
Well, to break up some of the seriousness, I threw in some chapters about some of the animals I worked with, and one of the earliest animals I ever worked with were horses, and I was quite astonished to know that they talk.
Wait a minute.
They don't sing.
Let's
They
step back.
well, I don't know if they sing.
Let's step back
but they
and tell
talk.
people
No,
a
let's
little
not.
bit.
Don't bother. Go on.
when you were young, you suddenly discovered that you had
When I
a
was.
gift.
Yes, dear.
When you
when
were
I was
younger,
a child,
when you were a child.
in my crib, and I saw things that nobody else saw,
How did
and they
this
all looked
happen?
funny at me. I mean, the people who didn't see it looked very funny, and they got real scared of me, and they called me a witch, and I didn't know what that meant, and I had to look it up, and I didn't like it. Oh, is that what you meant?
Yes.
Oh, that.
How did you get started being a psychic is another way to ask this question.
Okay. Well, about 19, I was a nurse. I was injured. I had a lot of surgeries to regain function in a leg. It didn't work. I was walking with a brace. I was in a wheelchair. Spent 11 years in and out of hospital beds and in and out of nursing in between. And then I had a very unusual gift given to me. One night I was healed. And I got really scared of that because I could dance again, and I took karate, took dancing, went out all the time. It was
suddenly swept over you.
In an
you were
instant.
healed.
You know those miracle stories? I touch you, you're healed. Well, no one touched me, but I woke up pain-free, and my leg functioned. Right. So I used my handicap license. I still use it for shopping. Hey. According to them, I am handicapped, but that's not, But I started feeling so good. People knew it, and they had seen me not be able to walk very well, and they started coming to my door, and I never went back to nursing. And that was a few years ago, a few decades, actually, come to think of it. Matter of fact, a few years ago, when I lived in Flanders, and you were in one of my what would we call the meditation, psychic development classes, and we used to goof around. One night we decided that everybody was going to be the leader for about 15 minutes and do what they wanted. Okay? Remember that night?
I remember.
We had maybe 12 people there, or 15. And you became the leader at one point and decided we all had to follow you around the house. So
Follow
we did.
the leader.
Right, we actually followed the leader. And you took us out sliding glass doors to my backyard, in which we all then had to lay down under the tree, close our eyes, and meditate according to you. You were our guru for the night. I see you have your shaman's hat on. It's lovely.
Thank you.
Oh, I love it. It's your medicine pouch hat, I call it. And oh, look at the center. Amethyst. Whoa, pretty. So we laid there, but I never told you the rest of the story about that night. About 2-3 months later, I was out in a supermarket, and some woman who lived on our block came to me, and she said, do you still do what you used to do? I said, what did I used to do? She said, you know when you were all levitating out in the backyard? I said, we were what? Someone could have sworn I was levitating that night, told the entire neighborhood that's what we did, so I thank you. Somehow you got us all up there.
Well, you're welcome.
It must
My
have been the
pleasure.
music. Can you do it again for us?
Yeah, anybody who wants to levitate, just call
you.
it in.
Somehow, I mean it. And people started, and I didn't know why they looked strange. It was that funny look that came over them that I hadn't seen since I was a child. I mean, now I was a normal person just working as a psychic and a healer and doing stress management. You came along, changed that image, so I thank you.
Glad to be of service.
Oh, yes. But I don't teach levitation. You do. I want to make that clear to everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So going back to the book, one of the people, in fact, it was funny, there's a horse pony, a Chincoteague pony that came up here, and it's known, I think, here in Mendham as the, I don't know what, it's at a convent now, the Mendham pony or something. They have some name for it. Years ago, a friend of mine was putting it in her barn for somebody else. It's a Chincoteague pony coming up from Virginia. And it bolted, went away. I had never been to her house, and she lived in Mendham. She called frantically and asked where this horse was, this pony. And all of a sudden, the pony was talking to me in my head. So I went along with it because we like imagination and we like, playing. And it showed me on, I don't know what they're called, it's the front legs, and it's the bottom part. It had been brown and it was going to turn gray, it said, through this excursion and adventure. And it showed me an area in a woods, and it showed me how it went there from the barn and where it would be staying. And it said to me, there's no way any of you are catching me without a roundup. So I said, okay, I got you. And it reminded me of a lot of people I've known. So I told this woman, and she said, well, yeah, you're describing my place accurately. You're describing the kind of woods I have and the trails and where a little pool of water is. And she said, okay, what do I do? I had just read The Tracker, Tom Brown Jr.'s book on tracking in mountains. And he lives in Tom's River. I said, call him. He came and had a roundup exactly where I said. I went and saw King Neptune, the pony, and he had the gray right here. And I think that was from probably lacerations, little things. So he's in the, matter of fact, his photo is in my book with a little story about him. I thought to show people communication is with everybody and everything.
Let's show the book.
Oh, let's.
Psychic detective.
Only took about,
True story.
oh yes. Each chapter deals with different crime cases, but also we're taking a different angle. We interviewed the people involved. We being a friend of mine, I didn't want to get involved with the interviews. So we have interviews of detectives and the mom of missing children who I help recover and bring back happily. We try to show people that you can have sometimes a better ending, not necessarily a happy ending, but you can have a better ending. And we talk about people like the man, Dick Kramer, who founded Voices for Victims, as part of how people make a purpose out of things that happen in their life. I want more people to join in because most of the work I did at that time was a gift to everyone, and I was given the gift of having a police badge. Why, I don't know. But when I was given it, I was called in by the detective I worked with, and he said, not only do they want you to have a badge, they want you to have a gun. I said, don't worry about it. I will not take it. I will not fire it. No problem. I'll just take the badge because I speed. So I took the badge for a while, but the stories in the book go back to when I lived in Mount Olive, and it took longer to write the book than to solve some of the murders. Quite amazing. Well, you know, when you do creative work, how long does it take? We were talking about it last night, to write a song.
Who knows? Could take a minute, and it could take
Isn't it
a
amazing?
year or a decade.
When I was writing with Elaine Silver the songs, we wrote, I think in about 86, we wrote 12 songs in 6 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every night we can get together about 11 o'clock at night at my kitchen table. But what I did was take my poems, and she always relates the story. She said, do you have anything we could use to write with because I'm bored? I said, sure, I have some poetry. I brought up my 2 bags of poems. I said, help yourself, pick one. And we started on those, and then we did some of our own. But that creative mode, once I get into it, it becomes easy. But the book, I never thought I'd finish. That's like
Just
an endless task. And when I read it again, every time I'd find all the errors, and you'd have to go back and redo. But it's wonderful to have finished it.
well, congratulations, Nancy.
you,
I'm
dear.
glad you finally finished it.
You can read that one.
Oh boy, I'm
Oh,
looking
yes.
forward to that.
Yeah, there's the sheriff's commendation in the front, just so people know.
The sheriff's commendation.
Yes, the plaque I got for the
Nancy,
sheriff.
it was-
Absolutely.
And that's, which police department is that?
Oh, that was Morris County Sheriff's Department.
Morris County Sheriff's
You
Department.
bet. That was John Fox's commendation for work.
Which way do I turn it? This way.
Oh, upside down looks really great, though. Do you remember those pictures that we look at upside down? You try and figure out who it is? She's an old woman on one side and a witch on the other. You can use it that way, too.
I see.
Yes.
I'd like to tell people how I first came in contact with you.
I'd
and
love
your-
to know.
Yeah, you don't remember.
I remember like you remember levitating.
Yeah. We met at one of Elaine's parties. Elaine Silver had a party at her house
Backyard.
in Lake Apatcon or someplace near there. And we were both there, and we met. And then I found out that Elaine told me that you were a psychic and that you
We didn't
had
spread
some
the word a lot.
interesting abilities. And so I made an appointment with you and came to your house. And I was deeply troubled about some things. And you held my hands for just a couple seconds and said, "Don't say anything."
Just like now, stop.
Then proceeded to tell me all these things that I was thinking about. And then-
Lucky you.
And then proceeded to tell. What was really amazing was after you told me all these things that you had no way of knowing, then you made connections that were like unconscious in my mind at that time, and put things together. And that really blew my mind.
That's the part I love best about everything. Don't you? I love that. Because I walk away not knowing the other person more, but not only that, but understanding life better. Because it really teaches me life as I do it. Because the more, and I'm sure when I hold hands, I'm not reading you then, actually. I'm saying a prayer to myself. That what I do be centered and of God's will, etc., and that I don't harm anybody. Because in the past I used to blast people, that I wasn't so gentle. Although I don't know how gentle I am with it now either. But the process is a fascinating process to me, because as you unfold, and I'm observing the unfolding of the layers and the connections and the pattern of who you are, it reminds me of how we all operate, because there are some very universal truths that come out in every session. There was one, not to compare that one in any other way, just like connections. There was a man I was sitting with, and it happened to be a closed door in my office, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm sitting here with somebody who has killed. I'm in trouble. And then I reminded myself what I'm supposed to be doing. And so by dipping into that level, everything became much easier and I could relate. And he started crying. And I was pretty floored, because I had worked in psychiatry for a long time and seen a lot of violence in life. And that helped move things for me, watching and observing in a deeper, connecting manner, somebody who had covered up so much, obviously You didn't cover up anything. You were just an open book. You were easy to read. It's true.
It's true.
Yes.
Okay.
Creative people are very easy to know.
Okay, maybe after the break you'll help me delve into a new mystery.
Oh, I love that. You hit on the word I love best. Mystery.
Delve, new, or mystery?
Okay, new I love when it comes to clothing and shoes. Love it. Mystery, anything. Delve, I don't know. Doesn't have the ring yet. I don't know. But the process now of creativity, as it happens with the book, seems to pour out now in different directions. Just as for you, when you start doing one instrument and then another and then another, and one style of singing and then another. As I'm writing, all sorts of writing comes to me, and I feel compelled to continue. So I've become obsessive. Not bad. Yeah, I started writing a newsletter for our nonprofit, the Holistic. We just happen to have a copy. Isn't that funny?
The holistic. We forgot to mention this. The Holistic Alliance.
We didn't forget yet.
Until now.
Right.
We didn't forget yet.
Memory's a funny thing, isn't it? Yeah.
You are one of the founders, or the founder of the Holistic Alliance.
With Sue Pellicati, right?
And
We wrote the initial papers.
yeah, we should give a
You
telephone.
were there at the beginning. Yes,
Sort
you were.
of,
Oh,
yes.
yes, you were. I remember. My memory is serving me well tonight. Yeah, the phone number for this one? 201.
We should give whatever phone number is the one they have.
Oh, that one they can call for.
They can call
you know
for
why?
any information.
Because that line feeds into the other line.
Okay.
They all feed.
So there it is. It's on the screen by magic.
Oh.
201. They forgot the second parenthesis, the end parenthesis. How about that?
Does that matter?
No. 201 586
Can they still dial without it?
2230.
Right.
And
correct.
it's correct.
Oh, sure. And if it
Call
isn't,
for any information you'd like to know about the Holistic Alliance International, or about Nancy's work, or how to go to your workshops, or anything like that.
sure. I'm doing one called Sacred Power. I do regularly, but I also teach a lot of health professionals at County College of Morris. I love doing that.
And then is
That's
it every October is the
Our annual festival, which is amazing these days because it is now being co-sponsored by County College of Morris, where we held it, and the Region Health Advisory Board called Lab 1, which is part of the reporting agency to the State Health Planning Board. And they have decided to inform most of the medical people in the counties that they cover about the festival. That tells us New Jersey's moving in a very different direction. Our direction now.
Good for us.
Yes.
Let's take a little break for a public service announcement, and we'll be back on Horses Sing None of It with Nancy Weber. Ah! Howdy folks, Ralph Litwin here. We've been doing Horses Sing None of It for almost about 2 years now, and we hope you're enjoying it. I'd like to publicly thank and acknowledge the regular volunteers who've been contributing their time to producing this program. Rich Modzaleski, our director, Kathleen Tilton, our graphics lady, Paul Tomasic, our sound man, and some of our regular camera people are Stan and Lupe Bush, and Don Preziosi, Lisa Stewart, Barbara Birchie, and there are many other people who have come and helped us on long and short-term basis. We want to thank them all. And we hope that you'll give us a call or write to us and let us know that you've been enjoying the show or what you think about it. And we're going to flash the name and number. You can call us or write. And thank you very much for watching Horses Sing None of It. Where has it gone to, honey? Where did it go? Where can I find it again? That's what I gotta know. Look at that little boy play, don't you know he's got it for sure? Look at me, here I stand moping, won't you tell me what is the cure? Where has it gone to, honey? Where did it go? Where can I find it again? That's what I gotta know. I once had a woman, honey, I loved her too much. When she said goodbye, she didn't mean it, but how I was out of touch. Where has it gone to, honey? Where did it go? Where can I find it again? That's what I gotta know. Now I have a spirit teacher, the love light shine through her face. When will I get the message so I can stop messing my case? Where has it gone to, honey? Where did it go? Where can I find it again? That's what I gotta know. That's a song that refers to you, Nancy. Maybe you didn't know that.
No, I did not. Thank you.
You're the spirit teacher in there. That was a song I wrote when we were
Visible one.
doing
The invisible ones we didn't.
delve into.
No, we don't. Right. I'm beginning to like that word.
Delve.
It's like divas, and right. But I don't even know what they are. I just see energy. Do you?
I see energy.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You're the first person to get me to publicly admit it. No, that's not true. I talk about it.
Sure. Yeah, more and more people talk about it. It's called vibrational medicine now. It even has a nice title to it we can use. Sound very professional, Ralph. We can call ourselves 21st century healers.
Okay.
Sound is the greatest healing. I make lots of sounds, actually. I walk around making a lot of sounds. Annoying some with them, but I don't care. It's a lot more fun. It's how I got into doing audio tapes, creative visualization, music. Oh, speaking of that, those are a few of them. There are others to play with.
You worked with some musicians to create
I knew what
sounds.
I needed, right. I had been fortunate to have met Lynn Schroeder and Sheila Ostranda. Sheila's a musician who studied in Bulgaria with Dr. Grogi Lazanov. Grogi, actually. Super Learning. And they created a book called Super Learning. And it was a bestseller for a long time. And the outcome of it was that music, as one of the keys in learning, the appropriate music in the background, even if you're deaf, will increase your memory, will increase your learning capacity, etc. So I started playing it like crazy. And then I decided to use that kind of music with permission from them, so that when I used my voice and taught people in meditation and creative visualizations for prenatal use in cancer patients and HIV, and then to everybody, general use, I created a line of tapes for it using that kind of music. And it's very simple. It comes from Baroque studies. 60 beat per minute, 4/4 time, reduces blood pressure, slows the pulse down, and keeps you in both hemispheres. But you have the hat, so it works the same. No problem. The hat does it, or the tapes.
The hat does
Right.
it, or the tapes.
Yes.
And these hats are available, ladies and gentlemen. No.
Yes, you just have to go and have lots of life experience, be willing to collect it all, treasure it the way you do, meditate on just the proper procedure, and have been a medicine pouch person at some other time, probably.
Whether you
But other than
remember it
that,
or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Tap into the universal pool of knowledge. I don't know that past lives are real or not either. I just know we have information and memory we can tap into. Whose it is. That's how I used to do my history classes. I never knew why I was so good in history. But I could tap into all the information without reading a lot about it. And I can argue the point when I was a kid in class. And then math, I would be telepathic with one student, the best student in class, David Stillman. When he was absent, I wasn't good in math. And he didn't sit near me. But the teacher once noticed I had the same mistakes as David, only. We sat at opposite ends of the room. And I knew it wasn't me that was good in math. It had to be him. It's definitely not me.
Very interesting.
Oh, it's a lot of fun this way.
And we should tell folks this: you are married to a very interesting man.
I'll say.
Dick Weber
He
gave
joined
me
the
this
Holistic
church.
Alliance. He gave you that church?
This shirt. I love this story. It was my My 40th birthday party. I had been looking all over the place for a turquoise shirt, and Dick comes in wearing this shirt. And I
Right.
looked at it and I went, where can I get a shirt like that? And he takes it right off and gives it to me.
And would not take it
He
back.
refused to.
Absolutely. Did we tell you we had another one at home?
No.
We're telling you now. He still has another one. He could have worn it the same time. Aw.
Oh,
You two have to get together and go out turquoising.
on the town. We're slowly coming to the ending part of the show here. Are there any
Last minute things.
words of wisdom
Wisdom?
that you wish to share with the audience?
I'm reading it carefully. Your cue card is sticking out of your third eye. I think people, the only thing I would ask everybody to do for themselves, educate themselves. Don't listen to anybody else. I love that bumper sticker, question authority.
That's
No
a
matter
good one.
where you come from and what you believe, question authority. When I work with crime cases, I teach people involved, get the reports, get all the reports. Don't believe it. Your doctor's telling you something, get the reports, read it yourself. Go to the library if you need. Get somebody else to help interpret it. Do not put your power in somebody else's hand, ever, ever, ever.
Boy, I agree with that.
Yeah, I know. It's something we have in common. Two little rebels sitting on a bench, right? Oh, that would be a nice one. Two little rebels.
Two little rebels sitting on a bench.
And one made sense.
Well, thanks for being on the show, Nancy. It was a
thank
pleasure
you for
to have
having
you.
me. It's wonderful, Ralph.
What's our time here? Oh, that's it.
It takes so little to save our rivers and oceans for future generations. If we use less toxic household cleaners, we protect a little. Fewer lawn care chemicals, a little more. And recycling used motor oil gains us so much. In fact, there are many things we can do in our everyday lives that can help stop water pollution forever. Clean water. If we all do a little, we can do a lot. Brought to you by the Natural Resources Defense Council and the Ad Councils of the U.S. and Japan.